I've been told Beast Game is something that I need to react to. It's a little bit like Squid Game, but yet a little bit more fun. Let's go and watch it.
I am standing on $5 million of real money, the largest grand prize in entertainment history. And competing for this $5 million are these 1,000 contestants.
When people are going to win a lot of money, you find that they react in a different way. They stop being themselves because they see this big lump of money and they think, what can I do with it? And they've already put into place in their heads what they could potentially do with that sort of money. But yet there's a potential for something else, which is the sense of camaraderie, because there's 1,000 people there. They're going to start mixing, getting to know them, getting to understand them, making friends, relationships. And all of a sudden, when you hear people's stories, maybe instead of the money being the most important part, their sense of friendship will be.
Throw 10 minutes on the clock. You will have this 10 minutes to make a decision. Stay in the game or press the button on your tablet and eliminate yourself. Those of you that eliminate yourselves will evenly split this $1 million I'm standing behind.
How many people are going
If only one of you eliminates
to
yourself,
eliminate
you'll become a millionaire.
That's a lot of money. I will not leave this podium. I will not go home until that $5 million is mine.
Can you see this difference between the two types of people? Some people would rather have the guarantee and not have that element of danger, whereas some people want to live in that danger, want to live in their imaginations, hoping and praying, telling themselves they're going to win that money. When, you know, 1 in 1,000 chance, right? Would you rather be a realist or would you rather be a dreamer?
10 seconds. You're pressing now. Hey, no, I'm crazy.
Wow.
In the end, the total amount of button presses was 52 people, which means congratulations, you each just won a little under $20,000.
Just imagine turning up to a TV studio, standing on a platform for a couple of hours and walking out with $20,000. That seems like a good day's work to me. This is going to get good. $5 million.
You will all be competing as teams. This row is a team, this row is a team, this row is a team. In order for your team to move on, someone must sacrifice themselves, meaning that they will have to, at their own will, walk away from $5 million just so some of you can continue competing in these games.
I feel like I have to sacrifice myself.
Click it. Oh, whoa, that was good. That's good. Congrats,
One side, so much joy, but on the other, so much pressure. And you can see how people buckle under that. And they go, I have to sacrifice myself. I can't sustain this amount of anxiety and pressure just pushing me down. So they have to release it. And they press the button, even at their own detriment. And you think about this outside of this game show, and you go, how do people react to pressure? And how do you react to it? Because if you're one of those people that can sustain it, you're going to end up getting so much further on in life because you're able to go through something and make a couple of mistakes every so often. But if you can sustain pressure over and over again, it means you can stay on point with what your end goal is and not flit off and do something else, which might make you feel good in the moment, but in the end doesn't get you to where you want to get to. I mean, to be blunt with you, these people started this game show, went to the studio, went through all the interviews and everything to get there, and within a couple of minutes, without even winning any money, they've pressed the button. For what reason? Why wouldn't you just stay still and see what happens?
Whoa, how you feeling?
I'm sad.
Everyone in your row, give her a round of applause for sacrificing herself.
Whoa. This game show is brutal. They just dropped everyone all at the same time. Some of these people sacrificed themselves for their row and yet they're dropped. Just out like that. Just think about that shock that those people felt. You know, it doesn't feel like they've got much for their sacrifice.
I've made amazing friends. Watching them get eliminated, it's brutal. And sure, each round we all get closer to winning, but moving on means saying goodbye to some really good people.
Just like I said at the start, how will the interaction between them, the relationships that they're creating, change the way that they act? You can see some of them are so ruthless, especially at the start, thinking, I'm just going to win the money, that's all I want. Whereas some of them, you can see that their win is in the friendships that they've created.
Your goal is to stack all of your blocks on top of the red starting block within 10 minutes. At the end of the 10-minute timer, if any of your blocks are not stacked on top of that red block, or your tower falls over, you'll be eliminated.
Look at the concentration. Look at the tension.
Make as many squares as possible. So it's flat, flat, flat. So it's less height. How does mine look? Do you see any weaknesses?
Very solid. Yeah, you want to go over there because it's leaning a little bit.
Again,
No, you want to go over here.
connection,
Counterweight it, yeah.
camaraderie. Again, they're competing with each other, but they can't help but help each other to get to the next stage, because inherently in all of us as humans, we want to help people. No one's evil. No one wants to hurt other people. Even for $5 million, they're still willing to help their other contestants.
What do you think I'm going to be having you guys do?
It's gonna be right.
A bribe.
That is correct. This game is the final hurdle between you and moving on in this competition. I will be offering bribes, and whichever person accepts it will eliminate themselves
What's all bribes?
and their rows. The bribes will keep going up, and we will keep eliminating rows until we have
How much would you take?
500 people. People started to introduce one another by their name.
Again, connection.
Alejandro, that's my name. And not their number.
By being identified by a number, it takes away your personality, your individualism, so people just see you as an object, essentially. But by introducing yourself as your name, it makes it personal, and it makes it more likely that people will like you and respect you, and also want to look after you, which is what these rows want, to be looked after and to look after others. Well, I mean, maybe some of them might press the button, but if they can form that bond, it means it's more likely that no one will press that button.
Barely communicate with them. How can you trust them?
You can't. You can say you can't, bro.
I haven't said anything to her.
It's kind of hard to. Is there a number?
And even next to him is an ex, so he hasn't got that same level of connection to the rest of the row.
I've got a briefcase here with $10,000 in it.
Whoa, he's already pressed it.
Somebody took the 20K.
Did you see there's no one next to him again? He felt, well,
Yeah, we're done.
he felt isolated. He didn't have that same level of connection.
Not here to make friends.
I feel bad for those guys, bro.
If you just don't turn around, they don't exist.
Yeah, that's kind of the mindset that I'm going on.
The people who you think you can trust the most are actually
Oh my god.
the people you can trust the least.
After all that, saying that he's not going to press the button. You see how, for some people, it's just a game that they want to play and win themselves. Whereas for others, community, respect, and pride is so much more important than even the money. I mean, I don't know what other games are going to be on the next couple of episodes, but you can see there's that split again that comes up. And for $100,000, I can, part of me understands it, but the other part is thinking, you're going to be thinking about letting all those people down for the rest of your life. Okay, you're going to have some zeros in the bank, but you're going to spend the money. For me personally, what's more important is my level of self-trust, respect, and also self-esteem to go, I want to look after people. I mean, I guess that's why I'm a counsellor, right? And I think that's why I'm going to leave the video today, because you can see how money, pressure, responsibility, trust, connection to people changes the way that we act. Some people want to act in a more selfish way by taking the money, whereas for many of them, they want to have that cohesion. They want to have that level of community that means they can trust each other. I mean, obviously, this is cutthroat, right? You see those games where you can win all this money, but it means sacrificing other people. Again, I wonder what you would do in that situation. I guess it depends how desperate you are, and it depends on if you've made those strong bonds early on in the show. Because if you have made those strong connections, you're less likely to hurt other people, because the win for you will be in that connection with others. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, why don't you let me know, and I can react to some of the other episodes in this show, because it's something that's really exciting. You know, I love Squid Game, something else maybe I should react to too, but I love the fact that we actually get to see the real connection with people and how real people act in this extreme situation. See you next time. Remember to subscribe, of course, as well. See plenty more videos to come. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.